Hello, I'm Kami G and welcome back to our AFK Endurance build videos. We are in Plankerton at Amplifier A, so this is the south amplifier. Now we have built the south direction for this, there's a lot of south going on, and now we are onto the east direction. But obviously if you have an amplifier placed down here, you're not going to get spawn here. Please let me know in the comments if that is your situation and you would like me to build or show general areas of how you would build for that. But we're assuming now that you don't have this placed down. So if you do, feel free to click off the video. That's fine. I won't be offended. But I would really appreciate if you did watch it anyway. But you definitely don't need to. Now the husks spawn just behind the amplifier and just around the amplifier area, basically. And this is a shared spawn with the B direction. B direction? The amplifier over there. Amplifier B, which is the east amp. As long as you obviously don't have this placed down. So, the traps here are going to be used twice, which is going to really hinder the endurance of it, obviously, but we also don't want to tinker too much with what we're going to be building in this area. So, what we're going to do is, for this build, we're going to block them from coming up these two ramps over here. I can just get my cones back to normal. Same with this ramp. Just going to stop them. Now you can add more at the top if you need, and you can even go as far as to put cones behind this, all pointing towards this corner with walls behind them. I don't think you'd need much more though, and then we can just do this as extra mitigation for that. So the main thing we're going to be going for is getting the husks to come up this ramp here. And then as they come up, we will deal loads of damage to them. We can knock them into rooms at the side. We can do damage from this side, however we want to go about it. And we will be damaging the husks that way. And then at the very top, I've opened this wall here. We will just allow them to go in. So we've covered this flank over here. As I say, you might want to add more protection behind this, but that's fine. Now, something I have built over there is just blocking that ramp to stop enemies from getting on top of this ridge up here. The reason being is flingers and such might get on top to try fling towards the objective. And if we are building a ceiling over the spawn, we don't want them to drop on top of the ceiling. But I can get to that when we get to it. So yeah, the enemies are going to spawn back there. Now, we don't want them to be able to go into this massive area over here, because they could just stand here and lob up to the objective. So we're going to want to block them from getting... we will have walls, covering this area. So all we need to do now is just block this. Now there is a little ledge there. So what we can do is just put a floor here. And then on this side, we're going to block this anyway, like this. Then what we want to do is just continue this wall across. You can put one there if you want. Doesn't matter too much. And we're just going to bring this wall across here, like that. Now, you can put extra protection behind this. So all I'm going to do for this is just center these like such. In fact, we'll do this one that way. I will just do them all that way. It doesn't really matter. You can have them as straight ramps if you want, or angled. It really doesn't matter that much. And then we're going to do our grid method that we did in Twine and all of the other builds. Like this. You probably don't need one here, but I'm just going to put one anyway. And similarly up here, if you want, you can do the same thing. So it would mainly just be this one, right? Because this is high up in the air, like they're not going to be able to get through there. Should you see any resistance to these walls, just add another layer behind, but I really don't think you'll need it. All we need to do now is just have a ceiling over this so they can't fling up. Same for this direction. So we'll build that when we get to, covering the spawn. But for this ramp, I'm actually going to place stuff on the ramps as we go up, which I don't usually do if you've seen my other videos. And then at the top of the ramp, we're going to have a wall here so that we can fling them all the way back down should they get to the top. And that will really, reuse the traps, which will be absolutely beautiful. Then we'll do a wall there. Now for this side, we'll do a low wall like such. And then... it doesn't really matter too much what you do with the floor. I'll probably leave the floor empty. We'll put a wall there, a wall there. Reason being, we can put wall darts on this. You can do it all the way up, to be fair. you want. But for the main way up, we will probably do something like this. The reason being breaking these is because when we have the wall launcher here, we place a wall, it's going to stop the enemies from flying out. So we're going to leave that open. You could probably put one there. They might also buy into that though. So it's up to you how you want to go about it. What we will probably end up doing is in this top area, we will have ceilings higher up. And then what we can do is, well, we can go without the, the damage there. The wall darts damage. It's only a little bit, but this is way more efficient having a wall launcher here to send them all the way out. And then as we come up here, you might want to avoid doing this because only having a single wall here might have smashers charged through it, for example. So what we might want to do instead is have this fully fortified, and then we can have a wall launcher here, for example. So obviously we're bringing the enemies to the side, to here. We can do wall darts there with that if we want, but I'll probably go for a full wall. Get the floors down, probably do a ramp again. And then at this point we need to block this side, so we'll just do this. And if we get our cones facing inwards like this, it will stop the enemies from being able to break out. Get the grid method going like normally. And then, as I say, this can be a wall launcher again to send them back out. We can have a wall launcher on this one, which will send them here and then send them back out again. And at the top here, we will allow the enemies to come to the side here. And then this is where they'll go in. So we have this open bit. So the enemies will want to, come up and go around here. So we can just extend their path slightly by doing this. Low wall works as well, like that, or if you want to do that. Either one, I like the tall walls because they look nicer. And then as we bring them here, we'll probably do another wall launcher there to bounce here and there. And then we can just close off this entire bit. Like so. And you could add another, thin wall here, should you like. Perfect. So, the ceilings. Up here, it's up to you. You can do the ceilings at that height and have sort of gas traps, or you can raise them up one from here. Oh, God. Just saw the light of God then. So yeah, it's up to you. You can put a wall like this and then, have the ceilings this high up. It's up to you. I think I'm going to go for this height and we'll just do pure damage. And then we'll keep it this height as we go through this area. What we can do is these ceilings at the sides can have ceiling electric fields on them to zap in, which will cover this entire area, including these ones. Probably even put one there if you want, but that's probably a little bit overkill. And then as we come to this part, we need to lower the ceiling to make sure that it will affect, the surrounding area, because the tire drop traps only drop 3 tiles. Now in this area, we can again spread these to the side to have more ceiling electric fields, which will only really affect the enemies up here, but that's fine. Then if I can just get back up. For this area, we will just continue this ceiling across. And this is where we're going to cover pretty much the entire spawn, right? So, as I say, from here, we are 2 blocks up here as well. So if you want, you can put ceiling electric fields here. I think that might be a bit overkill, so I'm not going to. But we'll stretch this ceiling around to here. You can even put it all the way around to here as well to cover this. It's up to you whether you want to do that. I don't think they're going to really go for that one as much, so I'm not going to. But this ceiling wants to spread out all this area. As I said before, avoid linking this ceiling too close to, here, for example. If we had it here, the enemies could walk up this ramp all the way up here and then just walk along our trap tunnels. So make sure that's not connected. And then this is now getting into the territory of this direction a bit, so I don't want to go too far with that. So that's why I'm stopping for that direction. Now the corners are a bit finicky, so I think enemies probably could still drop down onto the roof from there. So if you do see issues, get rid of those corner ones. I think it'll be fine because we have blocked the ramp. Probably want to add just a wall to the side of that as well. And you can even go further and, block them from getting up this ramp. What this means is we have less of an issue of them trying to come up and get on the roof, so we can go further to the side. I don't think there's much need to go all the way back here because the spawn is mostly in this central area. So that's up to you. Oops. Oh my goodness. I don't think the enemies can make it onto the roof from there, but just to avoid any issues, I'm going to get rid of that because I am very paranoid about it. Now for this lower area, the ceiling is going to have to be lower down. So what we can do is this one we can do here. And then this can be our start of the ceiling. As I say, this is kind of getting into the realms of the spawn for there. So, I don't want to step on the toes of that build. We can alter it if we need to. But I'm just going to cover this. And ideally we'd want to cover this all the way up to there. So what I'm going to do for this bit is just raise it up. Just so enemies couldn't walk on top. But I mean, if they could walk on top of this roof from here, they'd have got to this amplifier, which, we wouldn't want them to anyway. So, yeah, it's up to you how you want to go about that. But this bit here is mainly just lobber shield, as opposed to the actual traps. Now, this is a lot, obviously. And you can just make another connection here, for example, just to give it more structural support, just in case one wall does go or something. But as you can see, obviously this bit will be covered with amplifier B, but from anywhere here, they can't lob towards the amplifier. The only place they could go is like over here, which they might be able to get an angle towards the amplifier. So what you can do is just block, this area, like so. That adds as an extra protection for the flanking, to these areas. So, you could build it here instead, or as well, and just get this like this. Cover that. And now they can't do absolutely anything. And we've got traps here that cover all of this area. So if they did try break through here, they'd have traps over them, dealing damage to stop them from breaking through. So as I say, it's a lot. I appreciate that's a lot, especially for Plankerton. But, this is an AFK build. Oh, sorry, we need that open for them to be able to walk up this. But yeah, as I say, it's a lot, but it is an AFK build, so it needs to be a lot. So all I'm doing with these ones is I'm going to put wall launchers on these to send the enemies out into this area where they'll get damaged by the traps again, should they wander up this way. There's not a whole lot more you can do. Like, you can put walls here with traps on if you want to shoot into the spawn. Any walls in this area will get destroyed by the tendrils of the spawn. So, as I said, there's not too much more you can do. You can put a wall here with wall darts on, for example, a wall there with stuff on. It's not overly important what you get up to in this area. The main bit is the ramps going up, right, which is where we're doing most of the damage. So, you can put extra bits here and there for a bit of extra damage, but in the end, it doesn't matter too much. Like, you could, for example, do that, have wall darts on. The enemies can walk underneath this, and they will make their way around. So you can do a little bit of extra damage that way. But we really don't want to go too over the top. Like you can put walls on the way up because in Plankerton there's fewer amps, so we have more structures per amplifier. So you can go a bit more if you want with that. But yeah, the main part of this build is going to be this area up here, which will kill, you know, all the enemies. So I wouldn't worry about that stuff. So that should be everything you need. Just make sure you've covered all the flanks. And then, yeah, I'll level this stuff up and we can place traps down and such. So I will see you very shortly. The anti-air trap 1 range on there for durability. Ceiling drop trap. So we're going for a crit build on this one as well. Ceiling electric field. We're going for a crit build once again, you know it. Floor freeze trap. So for this one, we've got 2 impact and knockback. Floor launcher, so for whacking all the impact and knockback on there. Tar pit trap. So for this one, I like to go for full durability. Wall darts, another crit build, another all-rounder build. The wall dynamo trap. So for this one, I've gone for energy. Wall launcher. So for this one, we've got 3 impact and knockback. Wall lights, so another 3 impact, 2 reload speed. Wall spikes here, we've gone for crit build, so 2 crit rating, 2 crit damage. Wooden floor spikes, so crit build on this one, that's pretty much Kalidokali. Now that we have that stuff leveled up, we can put the traps down. Something to note real quick is that over there, I just got rid of that extra ceiling that was raised up. I really don't think we need it, they can't aim anything from there. Anyway, should you see any issues though, just put some walls here, that will stop them from being able to do anything. But yeah, I just felt like it was a bit pointless. So we'll start near the amplifier for the traps. So if I can get my 106 traps, because we don't really need it higher than that. We're going to go for tar pits on these. Then as we go up the ramps, I'm going to use the floor spikes, and then tar pits on these, and then once again, wooden floor spikes on the ramps and at the bottom here. Now, as I say, make sure you don't put a floor here because they need to be able to get up this ramp here. I think they probably can't get up here, but I don't know how the AI works on a weird corner like that because it's a bit bit strange. On this bit over here, we're going to put wooden wall spikes with healing on for these, just to make sure that if they did start getting through, that would heal back up. You can put, you know, like wall darts on some of these, but you don't need to do it on all of them. I'd probably just go for that one, and these. Where else can we do wall spikes? This is wall darts, not wall spikes. Probably do one there, and there. On all of these. Quite a lot, actually. Now that I said, you know, don't do it on too many, but we're going to do it on a lot. What you can do instead, though, on some of these is you can get some sound traps going. So probably this one, I'd say, maybe. Get a sound trap going to mitigate those exploders. And then maybe this one. Right next to the ramp. So this one will cover all the enemies that come from this direction. You could put one there. You could put one on one of these. You know, just use your own discretion, obviously. Everyone's different because the exploders are quite random. The waves are random. So it depends what's going to work best for you. So as I say, you might want to replace, say, this one with a sound trap as well. Or have an extra one around here somewhere. Maybe this one you could have as a sound trap. Or even this one, you know, plop one there. Just make sure you have a few around the bottom of the ramp so that the exploders get rid of their canisters before they go up. While we're over here, we can go ahead and put some more wooden wall spikes on with healing. This is a ramp as well, so you probably want to put them on this. It is a bit overkill, I appreciate. It's a lot of extra traps, but we're in Plankerton, so we have plenty of structures, so no need to worry about that. Right, so I'll deal with the rest of this stuff as we go. So probably put one... I'm going to have to break the wall, that's fine. Put one on there, and then I'll probably have to break that one, I guess. And we can do a broadside on that. Then as we come up, broadside on both of these, and then on both of these. We don't need another sound trap, I don't think. The one at the bottom here should act as plenty, I think. And then broadsides on these two. As I said, this one is going to be a wall launcher. Make sure it's a durability one with 4 durability, 1 reload, 1 impact. We can add a thin wall here. to give them extra room to move, and one there as well, just to really reinforce them. You know, having to go further so that they get hit by the wall launcher. More likely to, anyway. As I say, you can use other variations of extra walls. You don't have to use the same that I've done. But yeah, on here we can do dynamo, and then at the back we can do wall darts. Then here we'll have wall darts. As we come through here, we want broadsides on both sides here. There's going to be absolutely massive damage. These are going to have to be replaced to get traps on them. Broadsides on these. Wall launcher here. Just make sure we're getting the durability one again. And then for this one, probably switch to a impact one and an impact one there if you want. I don't think that one is as important though. What you can do here, I didn't mean to make a door. What you can do here if you want is you can have a wall launcher here with a side room. That will give you a bit of extra chance, you know, just in case a smasher got here, a mini boss, whatever it might be. For that case you will need an impact one, so we'll put the high impact one there. For here we will have a broadside. Broadside there and there. In here we'll have broadsides on all three sides. The floor, if you have if you have retractable floor spikes, that'll be perfect here. I think I actually have that trap. So what I'll probably do is probably go for like a freeze in here or something, or a tar pit trap. Keep them in place. I'll probably go for freeze. Let's use a 130 because I don't have any 106 made. And then in the ceiling we will do gas trap. I'm blind, couldn't see it. And then throughout this top bit we're going to use gas traps for the ceilings up to there. You could probably actually do that one as a tar pit trap, a tire drop trap. Apologies, I'm having an aneurysm. Just make sure that when you place it down you're facing up the ramp so that the enemies get knocked down the ramp when they get hit by it. So that's all the floors and walls here. So we can carry on with these ceilings then. So as I go through here, the center, as before with the other build, we're putting tire drop traps facing the direction the husks will be moving as we place them to knock them further back, like so. In fact, this one could be that way if you want, it's up to you. Then over here we will do that. This one doesn't really matter as much as you get a bit further back. It's not totally important. This one I'm going to do as well. In fact, we'll place it down after. But as you go around the amplifier, you can place tire drop traps, and then we're getting in sort of this territory of that area now, so we'll just do them that way. For this sort of central one and the edge ones, we'll carry on with tar pit for these. But these ones here, we're going to do as ceiling electric field. These ones are a bit more on the edge, so they can zap into the ones here, and the one above the amplifier, the enemies can't walk in the middle, so they'd never get hit by the tire drop trap, so we'll just put a ceiling electric field that can zap out. And that's most of the ceilings done. We just have this bottom area down here. So this one here can be ceiling electric field. Same there. Because they're never going to stand here, so they wouldn't get affected by tire drop trap. We'll go do the rest of those in a second, but we can do these edge ones around here with ceiling electric field, which will zap into enemies as they come up this main trap tunnel. And now all we have to do is the ones down here. So for these, we'll do Tire drop trap again, if I can get them equipped, facing this way. For this one, we're actually going to face this way, because this is going to be for the other amplifier. And then for all these ones down here, we will face this way as we place them, because this will act as beneficial for both amplifiers. And then these ones we will face the opposite direction, because these ones we want to knock the enemies away from these walls. But yeah, these ones over here, we're just sort of knocking them into the central area here, because this will mean the most distance for that amplifier and the one we're building for right now. As I say, you can add more walls around here if you wish. So you can place walls at the backs here with wall darts. You can place them here, you know, like these four, if you want. Put wall darts on them. We're going to be having like tunnels and stuff here, so I wouldn't worry about that for now. But yeah, that'll do it then for the amplifier. It's quite a lot. I appreciate that. One thing you might want to do is just place a few more anti-air traps around this sort of area, because we have one on the top and some over those tunnels. You might just want to... Ooh, a ceiling that hasn't been leveled up. You might just want to add, you know, a few around here. They are floor traps, aren't they? Even though they act for the air. That always confuses me. Just like those two or something. You shouldn't really need it. It's just an in case. And yeah, that should cover everything. So yeah, I appreciate you watching the video all the way through. Obviously you have if you've made it to this point. Obviously be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you did find it useful, because you will find all of the other videos useful as well, and that'll help get those pushed out to you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the future episodes. It's not a series, but you know, well, it's, yeah, I'm going to shut up now. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.